That was a lot of books.
Be more than human.
And welcome back to the channel. My name is Joseph Carroll. I write under the pen name J.R. Carroll. And today I am doing my wrap up for the month of October. And boy, was it a busy one. Um, yeah, I had a plan to do somewhere in the neighborhood of 7 books, you know maybe 8, but I didn't actually think I would get there. um but yeah, we went beyond that. Now I will say none of these books are huge books in the fantasy genre, where we are regularly now seeing books go to 1,000 pages. But still a ton of stories I came through this October. Starting off with Cradle, where I normally do 1 to 2 Cradle books a month, and I only had one on this month's docket, but um, I just I cannot help myself. These books are short. I think the last one I read was actually the longest book, but I got three in Underlord, Uncrowned, and Winter Still, and these books just they just compound on each other. And I know some well-respected booktubers have tried it and found it hard to get past book two. But I mean, really, I mean, for them, maybe I can understand. They have these TBRs that are 6 months planned ahead, and it's hard for them to stick an extra book in there if if it's not like mind blowing. And the first book definitely falls into that. It's for me, it was just something different, and it was good enough to pique my interest. So I continued, but I've heard some of them say, well, they're not into this whole leveling up thing. But I mean, it just got me hooked. It got me, thinking back to my childhood, nostalgia. But yeah, once you and I know this is bad to say, it's like, well, once you get past 4 or 5 books, so it sounds like a lot, but these books are literally half the size of most of the fantasy you're probably reading. um and after Winter Still, I mean, and now I want to catch up on the series by the end of the year. So I mean, this month is a lighter month for me because I'm doing a lot of writing this month. I'm gonna at least get one in. If I have any extra time, it will go towards Cradle, and I'm gonna try to finish it up in December. So great books. Can't say enough about them. If you haven't seen my videos, they're probably my most popular videos. So go check those out if you haven't watched them yet. Um, and subscribe if you like Cradle. If you've been here for the Cradle, subscribe. And then we've got two Dresden. Um, I did White Knight and Small Favor. We just had our big Dresden discussions for books 7 through 9. So I figured I'd get a little bit ahead for the next discussion, maybe changing up the format here with our Dresden discussions. We'll see how everybody feels about it. But yeah, if you haven't, check those out. But also check out the discussions. We have a heck of a time, lots of laughs, lots of Dresden quotes throughout the whole thing. I dress up every time, so if you haven't seen those and you want to see me dress up like a weirdo, go check them out. Um, then, of course, I did a triple review with Mr. Be Gone, which is by Clive Barker, who is becoming one of my favorite authors. Um, yeah, I don't have any on this month, but in December, I'm going to put another Clive Barker book. That book was excellent. It was funny and dark at the same time. So if you're into that kind of, maybe you shouldn't laugh at some of the stuff, but it's hilarious. That's a book for you. Um, Dark Hollow, um, by Brian King, was my first foray outside of the Rising series. Um, Really, really good book. Dark. I mean, Brian King is a legend in the horror genre. Urban fantasy horror. Um, go check it out. Really interesting stuff. And when you figure out what's going on, some people might be turned off by it, but if you keep going, the writing is amazing. Brian King is a master. Um, and then I reread Carmilla for the second time, which may be my favorite vampire story I've ever read. And consequently, it's like the second vampire story mainstream, of all time. It was like 1876, 1872, somewhere in that realm. That's what Bram Stoker, kind of based Dracula off of. So go check that review out as well, and go check out Carmilla. It's a novella, super quick, amazing story. Then I read two Richard Cadry's books. I've continued my Sandman Slim journey with The Getaway God, which may be my favorite. You know, Richard. Well, my favorite Sandman Slim book. Um, I just love when Kadri dives into the actual character, and yes, there were some huge things that go on, but I love being down and dirty in there and personal with Sandman Slim. Great series. Um, it's always one of the two series. Anytime if you like Dresden, it kind of pops up that you'll like Sandman Slam, and then you'll like the Iron Druid, which Iron Druid I got my eyes on. Not just yet, but soon. And then my second Richard Cadry book, and my 10th book this month, was The Grand Dark, which is a standalone by Richard Cadry, and I cannot heap enough praise on this book. I am actually going to be I'm going to be doing an interview with Richard Cadry, not this Sunday, but the following Sunday at 1 o'clock, and I'll update you guys on that. But The Grand Arc is one of my favorite books of the year. I mean, it's going to end up being in my top five. And especially, it's weird. Like sometimes when I think about standalone books, for some reason, I don't expect them to be really great. I don't know why. Maybe I'm just always looking for a series to continue. This is one of the few books. I mean, I love Cradle and I love the Dresden Files. But normally, when those books come to their end, I'm ready for them to end. I'm fine. But this is one of the very few books where when we end the book, and it's not a short book, when we end, like I wanted more. I wanted to keep going. I'm like, why are we stopping? I cannot wait to talk to him about The Grand Arc, one of my favorite books, maybe of all time. I'm still kind of mulling it over, so we'll see where it ends when I do my end of year list. But appreciate you all for checking out my wrap up, and make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you like this video, share it, leave me some comments. What did you read this month? What is your favorite book so far this year? Do you expect any books that you're going to read over the next 2 months to overtake that book? Let's get it in the comments, everybody, and I'll see you in the next one.